Hey you guys, it's This Week at WeBuyHouses.com. I'm Deb Horn with
Mike Van Orden.
And today, boy, we have a lot to talk about. It's
Man,
Friday, September 22nd. This is episode 4 of This Week.
Blowing by.
That's right.
Just the chemistry, man. It just happened to go so quick.
If we didn't do anything we had to do, it's Friday. We were running out of This Week to do this week.
That's right.
We're trying to do them on Wednesdays and get them out on Thursdays. But man, this week was just packed.
Flew by. Yeah.
Let's share some of what's happened this week with these guys. Before we get into it, we noticed that every now and then we use the word crushing it when we're talking about someone that's doing really well.
I do. You don't. You don't like
I don't use crushing.
I don't think you like
killing
it.
it.
You use
But,
I use crushing.
And I noticed that Steven Johnson likes crushing it. He says crushing it. Anyway, anytime on This Week at WeBuyHouses.com, when you hear me or Mike or anybody, a guest or whoever say crushing it,
right,
the first person to comment in the comments down below with, Mike said crushing it at 4 minutes, 31 seconds, that person gets either a We Buy Houses hat, cap, very nice, or these cool We Buy Houses.
Look at that.
The easy way to sell.
If you show up in that shirt, what's going to happen?
Closes
Contract
the deal.
City, baby. You show up in that.
Are they
all
now, if you're not a licensee, you can still get the shirt.
Yeah.
And help spread the word. But of course, we'd love to have you as a licensee at WeBuyHouses.com. Awesome. So I just wanted to share some of the brand, but it's about crushing it if you hear that. So let's jump into this week. Do you have something to say?
No, I was just going to say that we kind of laugh about the hat and the shirt and everything and showing up, but it really makes a difference. I mean, when you show up, the professional look that you have,
it really
everything
does.
going together. So.
It's I call it brand experience.
Yeah.
And it starts from the moment that someone becomes aware of you to the all the way through to where you've bought the house that, and they now have consummated the deal and had their money. It's a complete brand experience.
Yep.
And in our business, most people don't have a brand experience, right?
No, that's important.
So let's jump in. We have a lot to taltalk about. I want to keep it as short as possible. This week we had a couple of new markets. We have Mike Long and Johnny Dye have joined in Greenville, Spartanburg, South
Great area.
Great area. I think it's the next Birmingham or Nashville, Memphis market like that.
Yep.
We're going to do really well there, and these guys are on fire.
They're ready to go.
Steven Johnson, we're going to talk a little bit more about him. He was featured last week on our show, and we've recorded some videos with him. He expanded his territory this week and took another Texas county down.
Yeah, Brazos County.
Was it Brazos or Missouri? It was Brazos.
Brazos.
Right.
Yeah, Brazos
Is that
County.
College Station?
Yep.
Yeah, College Station.
And he said,
Aggies.
Even though he hates the Aggies, he sent me an email.
Yeah, he did go to
Austin. That's right.
He should have a profound hate.
Right, I know. I said, you can hate them, but if you take money from them, it's all, it's kind of...
My dad went to UT Austin, and my uncle went to A&M. And that was just every Thanksgiving, whoever won called the other one and annoyed them.
That's great.
So anyway, it's really cool to see
Steven
Steven not only being an amazing advocate of the brand and doing really well, but then taking some of that return on his investment and rolling it back in.
Because it's like he said. I mean, it's like playing with house money.
Yeah.
Because he's doing so well in the other counties that it funded itself.
Yep.
And if he gets a couple deals a year out of Brazos.
Yeah, that's a great additional area.
No doubt.
So speaking of Steven, we did put out this week. So we had him up here in Dallas last week, and we filmed a lot. We shared a little bit of that with you on the This Week episode, and then we put out the first of 4 shows that we filmed with him that really are 4 episodes talking about the sales process. Right. And we call it sales process, guys. That's when a lead contacts you and you go work that deal. It's a sales process, right? You're selling a solution.
Yep. Right.
The quick cash
as
is solution, right? And so a lot of people don't think of it that way. I mean, maybe they think because we buy houses, it's not a sales process. Boy, it absolutely is a sales process.
It absolutely is, and if you look at the investors that have the most success by far, they either have a background in sales of some type or they're a student of selling in human psychology.
Yeah.
And they by far are the most productive, you know, and I talked, every one of our licensees, I wouldn't say they're all as adamant about it as Steve, but they're all involved. They're reading great books that are out there on sales, and they're a practitioner of sales in some capacity.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I agree. It sells.
So we got a lot of video. We talked the entire process with Stephen, and we put out this week 2 of the 4 episodes. The other 2 will probably come out next week. Is that right, Josh? Josh is our producer, and so he'll get those out for you guys. If you're a licensee, of course, you'll have all access to all 4 of the episodes, and a non-licensee, we've already shared episode 1. And we'll share other things for you guys, whether you're a licensee or not.
Right. We're gonna provide great content that better than a lot of what you pay for just from what we do every week. But obviously, if you're gonna pony up and become a licensee, you're gonna get.
Yeah, and I think that is we're these shows and doing them not just for the licensees, but for the general public or real estate investors in general. Kind of helps people to get a look inside of WeBuyHouses.com and what we do here and what our licensees do and the success that we're having with the brand.
Absolutely.
But along the way, we definitely want to help all investors to raise their game.
My goal would be for someone to watch what we do this week at We Buy Houses, get some great tips, go out, get a couple deals because of what they learned from the content, and then become a licensee. And that would be a thrill to have that happen. So
we are now. Here's the cool part. Next week, we're taking our film crew and we're going to Waco. And Stephen, I think he's got like 10 or so projects.
That's a lot.
Right? And the guy is flipping houses.
Crazy.
And so we're going to go down there and actually film in some of the renovation projects that are going on. And he's got great ideas, man. He knows how to get the right deals from Home Depot and Lowe's. He knows which products to buy to get the right, price and look that people want. This stuff looks nice. If you look at his flips, the flooring's great, the colors are great, countertops, cabinets, but it's not super expensive. But it looks good. He knows what he's doing, and he keeps his ROI in mind.
It's all about the perception, and Steve's in a very competitive market, guys. Waco, you're talking, I think it's the top house flipping with Chip and Joanne. They're in Waco, Magnolia.
Waco, Texas.
And not only them, but right outside of Austin. That whole area, and Steve is just crushing it down there.
Yeah, he's going to pull $500,000 of gross profit out of Waco. Anyway, okay, but you know what it is? Great brand, great process, super knowledgeable guy. He knows what he's doing. So you put all those things together, you can make bank in a place like Waco or Greenville, Spartanburg, or really any market in the U.S. So that's what's happening next week. We're going to roll down there. It's going to be really cool. This week we did a webinar a week for the last 4 weeks. We're just cranking out great content. I hope it's great. Cranking out content.
It's good stuff.
But this webinar yesterday, which has already been recorded and put out today for the licensees, was on social media and specifically Facebook.
And everybody wants to know about how do you make money on Facebook? How do you apply that to real estate investing? And man, did we get...
And one of our... We all love Google, right? Because people come to Google and they say, I need to sell my house fast or whatever. And we can get those guys that are looking for us. Facebook is different. And so you have to really know what you're doing with Facebook advertising to get a return on investment out of it. And so, for example, the ads that people just run on the side of the page or just the static ads in the stream, those are not good for our business. They don't work. And I would encourage you guys, don't buy Facebook display ads. Don't buy really any website display ads that say, you know, we'll buy your house fast for cash. People will click on them, but they don't fill out forms because they're not, you know, if you're on CNN, you're reading an article.
Right.
And Jimmy Buys Houses pops up on the right side. Somebody might click on it, see who Jimmy is, but they're not. How do you find a motivated seller in that world? You know, not. It's like needles in a haystack. So anyway, what happened in this webinar is we featured Travis and Janie Schur, who are our licensees in Las Vegas. And Travis and Janie now have 28,000 followers on their We Buy Houses Las Vegas page.
It's insane.
He showed us in detail everything he's done on Facebook from day one, which he started in 2015, July 2015. So it's been a little over 2 years. He has invested $86,000 in Facebook advertising on that site.
It's a lot of coin.
He estimates he's pulled about $250,000 in gross revenue out of that. He did one deal off Facebook that was like $60-something thousand. Literally,
3-to-1, and he's
buy it and found out that you could almost list it at that.
That's a tremendous return.
So there's a lot of by getting a licensee who's really doing well in something and bringing that guy in to teach the other licensees. That's a lot of what we did, you know, well, particularly in that webinar, but we did webinars on AdWords, SEO, brand awareness, which is TV, billboards, blah, blah, and this was on social media. And man, I tell you, I think it was one of the best because it was one of our guys who is really just become a top tier Facebook guy.
Well, now, so to give the viewers a very valuable tip here, I think the gist of it is that it wasn't the display advertising that was effective. It was the boosting of the before and after photos of the homes and that. Right. I mean,
yeah, and you know, a lot of what he does, they do mainly the after photos. I kind of like the before and afters when it's the exact same shot and you can kind of transition from ugly to pretty. But if you don't have that exact same shot, before and after doesn't work.
Doesn't have the impact.
But what they do is when he buys a house, he does a Facebook live broadcast as he walks through to see it for the first time, kind of thing. And so that's his before.
Right. Okay.
And then the after is he posts like 14 or 20 or whatever photos of the finished project.
That makes sense.
He will boost that. It started at like $50-$60 a boost, but now he'll put that out, boost it for like $500. He's got 28,000 followers, and that boosted post will hit tens of thousands of people. And when you start talking about the productivity of media, comparing that to say television, which I find that it's just hard to see the ROI in a lot of advertising, and television is one that we struggle with because it's a great idea to be in people's homes, but the problem is there's no longer 100 or 500 channels. Right now people aren't even watching cable.
But he likened it to, it's like building a fan base in a way, because you have 20, 30,000
and they engage.
Right.
So when he puts a picture or pictures of this new beautiful kitchens and bathrooms and living rooms, people are sharing, and then it's like, it depends on what he's trying to do with the property. If he sells the houses, they do owner financing, they do rentals, they do all kinds of different things. So whatever the offer is, he can immediately get people interested in buying this house the moment that he posts it.
Right, and that's, I guess in some instances it creates like a bidding war where, because other people see other people have interest in that property.
So man, that
was awesome.
That was just it's funny, as a marketing guy, sometimes it's hard to find new ideas, right? Because I've been in years now, but man, Jeremy and I have been for 10 years doing advertising for real estate investing, and there's no magic bullet, and you're always trying to find kind of what works, what doesn't work. You want to do more of what works, less of what doesn't work, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's what we try to get out of these you find somebody that's doing really well, you bring that person in, and
Right.
you can kind of, we were talking about it earlier, when somebody tells you what doesn't work, it's almost as valuable, maybe more valuable than telling you what does work, because it helps you not make the same mistake.
Right, exactly.
You know, I put over $1,000 into a YouTube advertising campaign early on with the We Buy Houses brand. And I just watched it accumulate views and clicks, and I'm spending my money. Guess how many leads I got filled out on that?
3.
0. Goose egg, right? And I thought,
Nobody did that.
what did I just do with my $1,000? You know, I got a few people.
All these, yeah.
You know, I don't know.
But you know, it's like
So-
I think it was Ogilvy or one of the old masters of marketing said, you know, something like, I'm certain that half my advertising
Yeah.
is working. If only I knew what
It's
half.
I know, yeah. Half my advertising doesn't work. The problem is I don't know which half.
Which half? You know,
And we do struggle with that. But what we see now with Google and with Facebook is you see data, and that data
Right.
tells
The
you a
analytics
story
is-
that you don't get from
It
TV,
don't,
radio, outdoor.
Right.
Nothing produces the data like that. Now I do think as an advertising marketing guy, you need to get your brand out into the market, right? So sometimes these billboards and TV and things like that,
Right.
we make investments in those to create brand
Yes.
awareness in places where our other marketing doesn't reach.
Right, and really it's direct response marketing where, you know, you have the analytics, you can justify every dollar that you spend, but there's also something to be said for the branding and the marketing and the synergy. They're driving down the road, they see the billboard.
Yeah.
They get home, they see the 15-second spot, and then the next day they get a postcard in the mail. And oh, by the way, a friend sent them a house on Facebook that happens to be the same.
Yeah.
You know,
One of my early videos was 7. You know, people need. What was the name of it? Forgot. But people. It was about people seeing your brand 7
Right.
times. Now that's just. I don't know, that's scientific, but
Yeah.
you know, it basically is saying that someone internalizes and remembers you after they have seen your brand 7 times. And we in marketing believe that if they've seen your brand 7 or more times in multiple media, that it's even more impressive, right? And psychologically. So if they do see a TV commercial, for one thing, they think you're all over the place.
Right.
You're huge if you're on TV.
Right.
And then they see you on Google if they do a search. They see you on Facebook. Now, Travis did do some lead gen on Facebook. I'm going to not go deep into that on this video, but there are actually ways to put ads in stream that are clickable where it actually expands up to a form, and that did work. The one little tidbit I'll tell you about that is that he revealed that it takes about 40 leads on Facebook to get a deal.
Okay.
It takes about 20 leads through Google to get a deal. And that's very consistent with what I've seen over the years.
Yeah.
We convert about 5 to 10% of our incoming calls to deals. So, you know, that
pretty common.
Now
but
I think that's a very Google thing,
Right.
centric thing, because the people that are searching for the solution, 1 in 20 you can turn into money. But on Facebook, and it really gets to that difference with Facebook and Google, that where Google they're searching for you, and in Facebook we're putting something out there and trying to engage. And there are other other things you're trying to do in Facebook is to get a following on the page and things like that, engagement.
Right.
So it goes. It's a different animal. I think what we're starting to understand is that it is probably the most important second thing you do after AdWords. AdWords is the primary driver in our business, but it's not enough of a driver. In a lot of our markets, we literally max out on what we can get out of AdWords. We could throw more budget at it, but it wouldn't spend the budget.
well, there's only a finite number of sellers
That
that are proactively searching.
Right.
Right, that's why AdWords is so effective. Is they're letting you know, they're raising their hand and saying there's an issue, there's a problem, financial, a medical, whatever it is, and that's the beauty of AdWords, and that's why it makes sense the conversion rates are higher with AdWords because these are people actively seeking out.
Well, and on Facebook, they see a cool house that Travis, one of our other licensees, completed, and it creates an impression. These guys are in my community, they're
Yep.
buying houses, they're doing amazing work, they're taking the ugliest house on the street and making it the prettiest, and it's a neat story and it creates an impression. It's different. You don't come to AdWords to get that, but in Facebook you can get I think it's I used to say it was kind of like AdWords, direct mail, TV, because direct mail I still think is important in our business. Facebook was kind of an outlier, and I wasn't really sure because I had spent money on Facebook and lost my money. I didn't get anything out of it, and so now we've started to understand. We have one licensee who's gone really deep on it and made a huge investment. How that game is played,
and it's really about social proof and other people seeing other people like themselves that are commenting. Testimonials.
Look at the review. Yeah, if y'all go to We Buy Houses Las Vegas on Facebook,
yeah.
Read the reviews.
Yep.
People love Travis and Jamie.
They do.
And
they do.
So if you're thinking about dealing with a company and you do a little exploration, well, that Facebook page ranks really high in Google, right by his, you do We Buy Houses Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You'll see the city page for Las Vegas, and then you'll see his Facebook page. And that is a huge
it's incredible.
element of how does brand awareness get created? How does trust get created? Why does somebody decide to contact us?
Absolutely.
Right? There's a lot of subtleties in that. I think Facebook is hugely important. So, boy, we got off on a tangent. It's like we're going to do a 10-minute show. We did 10 minutes on Facebook.
We could go 20 minutes on this.
We kind of looking at our list. So the other thing that we're doing just for you licensees, so you're aware, in that webinar, we also featured Micah Autry. His team does a lot of our video production of commercials and shoot at our conferences and stuff. And they're creating a content package for social media that will be really a low-cost thing our licensees can buy. And what it will do is it will give them new content every month that's really nice. It has We Buy Houses logo, branding, their local office, phone numbers and stuff. But they can weave that into the things that they do. A lot of our guys are kind of like, I don't know what to post.
Well, and they're busy. I mean, it's better done for you.
Yeah. So
let's go
move on
to
Nashville. Nashville's coming up a couple of weeks out.
Oh, man.
We'll shoot this week, either before or after, maybe in Nashville. I haven't decided yet, but I'm committed to doing a weekly this week. Even if we have to do it remotely. Usually, let's see, what was I going to say about Nashville? At our conferences, what we found that people really enjoy more than, say, going out and driving go-karts or bowling or going to a show, what they like is good food and good wine and hanging out at a nice place. And so that's kind of, at our conferences, we really, Tung Nguyen here on our team plans these conferences. And he's like the master at figuring out what are the best places to go.
Yeah, he is.
So I was just going to mention for you guys that are coming to Nashville that on Tuesday night we'll be eating at Sambuca, which is we're in an area off of downtown called the Gulch, which is kind of an up and coming hip place to be. And Sambuca's down there. And then on Wednesday night we're eating at a restaurant called Merchants in downtown, closer to the kind of the historic street down there in Nashville. But it's going to be a great time.
No, it's going to be a blast.
We're also, not confirmed, but Trey Ellis in Nashville is working on getting us a party barge, or one or more, that drives around the city. It's like one of those duck boats.
Yeah.
You've seen those in like Boston
or
other cities?
Can't imagine.
I don't say exactly like a duck boat, but anyway, party barge. The idea is you drive around on a boat and you drink.
That could be trouble. Party barge, alcohol, water.
It does.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to do something like that. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. So Nashville. That's pretty much it. We already mentioned it. See, we were looking at our list. We already hit it.
We already talked about that. Okay.
So let's see. I think we may be at the wrap on this one.
I think so. We always go more than 10 minutes. We always say we're going to keep this to 10 minutes.
It's hard.
And it's impossible.
It's hard.
What are we at now, Josh?
26, 39.
26.
Probably 3 times.
Edit out like 22 minutes of that and let's put up the best 4 and people think we're geniuses.
I know, they will.
Those guys are so
with
good.
a capital J.
4-minute video, just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah,
bang.
exactly. I mean,
no, it's really 26 26 minutes of
26 minutes.
jibber jabber.
There was some good content.
We've got some good content. All right. Well, hey.
Okay.
Did you hear crushing it in the video? You get a hat or a shirt. I heard it. I heard it happen at least one time. Did you know he said it?
Did I say it?
No, he says it all
Did I
the
say it? I
time.
don't know.
You
It's
did
happening.
say
I
it.
don't even know I say it.
Rewind, it's back there.
That's
Hey
it.
guys,
Okay.
that's Mike and Deb. We're gonna
Wow.
wrap this one up this week at We Buy
Yeah.
Houses.
Good job.
Boom!
Boom.
Anyhow.